What's going on today, guys? Lego Man 213 bringing you a all new video. So in front of you, this is a 2006 ex New York State DOT Mack Granite plow truck. Now you're probably wondering, well, where's the plow? Don't normally plow trucks have dump box on them? All that. So a little bit of a backstory. This truck is actually at the college I take. I take heavy equipment operations at Alfred State College, and this is one of the trucks there. We have a few other ones, Pete 340, a couple other international dump trucks, DOT trucks. The Pete 340 isn't a DOT truck. It was actually a tri-axle dump truck. But the majority of our fleet is pre-DOT stuff. So, for example, this truck was retired from the DOT, and we purchased it, and we are using it. So this truck, what they did was they took the dump box off, put a fifth wheel on it. They left the back rack. Now the back rack actually has all your hoses, your hydraulic lines, your beacon lights, all that for your wing plow. Now the front bumper section here, I guess you could say, this part right here, I'll turn it a little bit. This part right here, this yellow piece where my finger is at, that is part of the original front plow frame assembly. Now the front bumper is actually a Bluebird rear school bus bumper. It works. It fits the truck perfectly. Width-wise, it fits it perfectly. And yeah. So what else am I forgetting? It is a 10-speed maxi torque. It is not a twin stick. It is a normal, it's basically two 5s on top of each other. So it's got your splitter, your air splitter. Am I forgetting anything else? No, I think that's pretty much it. So let's get right into it. So the truck, can't really, I'm going to do my best to give you guys like a side-by-side comparison for the thumbnail. I'm going to try to do something like that. Hopefully it'll work. If not, oh well. But this truck, like I said, it's an 06 Mack Granite, 10-speed maxi torque. Now, I have driven this truck, not down the road, just on the lot where we were doing one class for 1 week, and then the next week I drove it again. Pretty fun to drive. It's definitely a different truck compared to, say, Kenworth or Freightliner or Peterbilt. Macks are different. So yeah, let's get right into it. So starting off, you're probably wondering how I did the hood. So this hood section, so from the windshield to the grill, it is actually 6 studs wide all the way. And then what I did was I went in 2 studs, so basically my pointer finger's width, and then from there I just sloped it into 4 studs at the nose part. So right here is 4 studs wide. So how I did that was I just took a like a hacksaw that we would use to, say, cut small pipe or PVC pipe, and I used a ruler as a straight edge from the 2 studs in, and then went into the 4th stud here. So it's basically just 2 studs in, and then I just marked that as my center point, here to here, and then I just eyeballed, from the photos I had of the truck, I eyeballed how the side curve of the hood goes. So looking at it, it's kind of hard to show, but looking at it like that, you can see how the truck, it starts out, it comes straight out, and then it's more of like a drastic sharp curve and then straight in. It's not really fancy, say like that Bronze International I have. But you can see here on the other side how it just slopes in. And then the hood also slopes down as well. That is actually down a full 3-stud brick. So at the lowest point, which is right here at the base of the nose. For the butterfly hood, I Sharpied that on just to give that outline look. You can't really do a butterfly hood with Lego unless you were doing Technic scale builds where it's a massive, like the Mack Anthem. You can see here the fenders, I used the aluminum like I usually do from a pop can. I just put them on top, cut them, well, Sharpied, the line where I was going to cut, and then I glued them on. The truck is a wide track front axle, and the way I did that was, it's not a true dually like most of the trucks, but it is size comparison, it's good. To show the fender flares, I painted the black on the outside. It goes all the way around. Trying to show it the best I can. Right there. There we go. So the headlight, so right there, that headlight is a dark charcoalish gray kind of. And then I did white for the actual light itself, and then orange for the turn signal. Same on the other side. Now the grill, I printed off a picture from Google. I sharpied in the black, and then I did my best to leave the chrome much as possible, and then I rusted it as accurate as I could to the truck. The bumper, you're probably wondering what's that made out of. It's actually made out of aluminum pop cans. I just did, I cut one piece, the thickness, well, the width I wanted, and then from there I just set the piece on top, cut a second one, and then repeated the process one more time. So it's actually 3 pop can metal pieces, so it's 3 thick, and then I just took basically like a straight edge, and I used that to bend, that way I'd have that nice angle. Am I forgetting anything on there? I rusted it the best I could just from looking at the photos. You can see, try to show it. It's really hard to show with the lighting. I'll take the tire off actually. We'll just do that. So inside the wheel well here, you can see I painted it black, and then I went through with like a kind of like a tannish brown, like a sandy color kind of, to show the dirt. Because this truck, we have a lot of dirt roads where we run this truck, and I wanted to show that, it gets used. So I did that, and then on the frame, the whole frame, including the back end and the majority of the truck, I rusted as well, because it was an ex-DOT salt truck, or plow truck, so it got used, it spread salt and everything, got ran on the salt roads. And then that is about it for the front. Put the wheel back on. So for the mirrors, it's my normal, I used paper clips, but these pieces here to show how they slope from the door up, I just used a Lego pole, like what they use for the lightsabers, that style. I filed an angle, that way it would fit flush against the door, and then I glued it, that way it'd have that nice look. The CB antennas are my signature. I use the broom bristles from a broom. I just painted them white to make them accurate to the truck. And then I also did the antenna up here white as well. Now they don't really move as freely as, say, the real ones on the actual Granite, but because of their stiffness, but they still look good. Now you're probably wondering the Bulldog. The Bulldog, all I did was I took a toothpick and I found a drill bit that fit the toothpick just a tad bigger, because I wanted to be a little bit of a wiggle room, so I could basically situate it to where I wanted it to be centered. And then I just drilled it through, and then I put glue in there and then held it firm, painted it just a light gray. Gives it that chrome kind of, hasn't been polished look, so more of like a brushed-ish finish. The truck does not have air horns on the roof, but it does have cab lights, so you can see those there. Again, just the toothpicks. I cut those to size and then painted them orange. I sharpied on the air breather vents on the side of the hood. Again, same fender flare right along there. Let's see what else. On the side, the doors, I did just a Sharpie line on the door to show the Granite logo. Because the Granite logo is so small, I didn't want to print it off because it would have looked very, very blurry. Wouldn't have looked good at all. The tanks are just 2 Lego wheels that are like these. I just glued them together, and then I did a 1x4 on top and a 1x4 on bottom, and made them pretty much flush with the cab. That way there wasn't really much of a gap, because originally I had them sticking out to about, I don't know, a little bit, give you guys a look. It'll be, I'd say, another stud, so they were sticking out to about there-ish, and I didn't like that. The trying to show that, there we go, the Alfred State logo, I found that online and I printed it off, made it to size, and cut it and then glued it on, and that is accurate to the truck as well. Moving around to the back, the only thing I did not do was the back window. I didn't want to figure out how to do that because it wouldn't have looked good. I either would have had to have cut out a section for the back window or painted it on, and I didn't want to mess around with that too much. You can see the back here. I have hoses. These are your normal Lego ropes. I just cut them to a said length, a specific length. I don't remember the length it was. And then just glued them all together on one end, grabbed them, glued them up there. That way they're kind of just hanging there all nice and pretty. You can see the two beacons and then your clear one right up top. And then you can see all the weathering and rust I showed on the step deck plate there. The fifth wheel I custom cut out. It didn't turn out as good right in here, but it's very hard to get a fine cut with Lego unless you were to take, I don't know, like a really small grinder. The fenders in the back are aluminum as well. They are width just a little bit wider than the rear tires, because I wanted to give that, they stick out a ways from the tires. That way they don't fling stuff back up onto the truck or the trailer or anything on the road. Again, I weathered the frame, gave it rust. I weathered the wheels a little bit, not too crazy. And then the mud flaps I got off, I have a picture of the Give 'em a Break mud flaps off of the one international dump truck we have. It's a newer one, and the mud flaps, I was like, oh, those are perfect. I wanted a picture of them, and I had no intention of using that photo for this project. When I took the photo, I just liked the Give 'em a Break mud flap, and I was like, hey, I have that as a photo, so I ended up using that. You can see here the weathering on the, there we go, on the frame. There's a better look at your Give 'em a Break mud flap. Come on, focus. There we go. Moving around to the side, you can see the exhaust. So it's just 3 Lego wheels. I glued them together and then glued a straw. I cut the angle that I wanted it at the nice flat part, and then I bent it to how I want. To show the wing plow attachment where the chain, it would hold it on and winch it back in. I just did a 1x3 on the bottom, glued that on, and then I glued the 2 1x1 studs. They're bricks, just a 1x1 brick. 2 of those, glued them together on that 1x3, and then I put on a cut piece of rope, weathered that because it was very rusty in the photo, so I did that, and then the step as well, and then you can see the Alfred State College the sticker, sticker on the door. Again, the mirrors, and then on the interior, it's hard to show it because it's kind of hard to get light in there, but I painted it a tan just to give the look of the interior. Nothing really too fancy, and then again the hood vent there on the side. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I think it looks fairly accurate to the truck. This actually didn't take me extremely long to build. It was more of just trying to figure out how I was going to do the hood and the front bumper. That was primarily the big issue I had. I had done a different bumper starting out with, but I didn't like the way it turned out. It was kind of big and bulky, and it didn't look right. So I went and redid it, and I came up with this design. But guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I posted in the community because I reached 1,000 subscribers, and YouTube showed me the community thing, and I'm getting familiar with that. So I posted a quick little sneak peek of that. It said coming soon, so I figured I'd do the video as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. That's gonna wrap up the video. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, comment down below. You know, let me know what you guys think. If you feel that it's good, let me know. You know, thoughts and opinions. I do plan to try maybe to get the Anthem review sometime this week. I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off from work, so I probably will do videos throughout those days. And yeah, so stay tuned, guys. I got a lot of plans for the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Lego Man 213 out.